Hi, I'm Milo McCabe. Welcome to Sloss and Humphries on the road. Danny said it was going to be a short episode. He is full of shit. It's ended up being a long one. I jumped in. We had a lot of fun. We talked about Elliot Steel. We talked about Emmanuel Sonubi. And we talked about brain hemorrhages. Enjoy.
Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and Cream, Cream and Muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh.
Welcome to the podcast. Just to let you know, it will be a bit of a shorter one today, about 45 minutes, and that's just because we've got another one to record after this.
We've got a very special guest.
Aye, and somebody had a little bit of a lie-in today.
Are you giving me sauce?
No, I just said somebody had a little bit. Did you have a lie-in?
Nah.
No?
You said we start at 12.
Mm-hmm.
And it is 5 to 12 right now.
I did suggest we start
However,
at 12.
if you hadn't woke me up... So, I didn't have a lie-in, but I was gonna.
So what you're saying is, you were drunkenly walking to your cars, swinging your keys around your finger, being like, can't wait to be home in 15 minutes, and a police officer came and went, are you going to drunk drive? Not anymore. Not anymore now that I know you're here. Yeah. Are you leaving soon? Well, not going to follow you home. Well, you might as well drive me there since I can't drive.
Well, look at you. You're like the fucking Minority Report trying to pin us down on a precog.
Oh, man, I tell you what, I have watched Minority Report 5 times and I've never made it to the end. Not because I think it's a bad movie.
There's no minorities in this.
I've just, every single time I've watched it, I've gotten too high and fallen asleep. I have a fun golf story to tell you, and I hope everyone stays and listens to it, even though it's boring and about golf. So obviously we've taken it up a bit more. I played when I was younger.
You got your membership, yeah, you announced that.
Yes, did all that. During the Fringe, we've been playing golf every Monday with some comedians. It's been really good. Like, and I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I've always said to Cara, I'm like, it's really good for my mental health, man. Just me, a couple of my friends, walking around in fresh
Scottish air,
having a laugh. And she was like, why do you come back so angry then? I'm like, I do it because I'm shite at it. But that's not... The point is, it's still good. So, this Monday, right, we've got some people in the group who are really good. For example, Sam Taunton's from Australia is fucking class at it.
Yeah. Stu
McPherson's really good. Like, I think he almost went pro, but they couldn't play because they were off to Glen Eagles, which is like a real course with Gareth. And they had a lot of fun there. So we put the invite out, and you couldn't do it just because you had to get home. Mm-hmm. So we thought it was going to be 6 of us, and it turns out it was just me, Ryan Cullen, our good friend Duck, and comedian Hannah Fairweather. Now, it's the first time she's ever played with us, but she's been in the group for about 2 weeks. And Hannah's also someone that, like, she almost went pro. Like, she got a scholarship in America for golf. That's how good she was, right? But she got bored of it because, I don't know if you know this, but there's fucking heaps of sexism in golf.
Oh, God.
Aye.
I can't even imagine.
Aye. Well, man, do you know in Edinburgh, there are 3 clubs, in Edinburgh, in 2022, there are 3 clubs in the city that still don't allow women to be members or play.
Like, don't allow, because I've seen ones that go, ladies welcome here, and I'm like, oh. Well done. Can blacks come?
Yeah.
Like,
what about my dogs and my Irish?
yeah. So like, I'm aware of that. Like, look at us moving, kicking, and screaming into the 21st century.
Yeah. Look, we're here, and we're gonna let you be part of it. You're like, man, this is progression from 40 years ago. You don't get to act like this is progression anymore.
Tell us something. You know the ladies' tees. Why are they such a patronisingly small advantage?
You know what?
Because they go like, this is the men's tee here, right? This is the ladies' tee, like, and it's sometimes like you could spit at it.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not.
That's why. No, you've nailed it.
Oh, right.
You take your swing and you go, how's that, bitch? Huh? Further than your wee ball, wasn't it? Anyway, lads.
It's raining. Can you feel it?
Speaking of sexism in golf, I do have to admit, our hypocrisy here, I'd say there is a little bit of sexism from us. It wasn't a rule I made up. I'll not say who made up the rule, but it is a rule we all abide by, which is if you're on the men's tees and you don't hit the ball further than the ladies' tees, you have to show everyone your cock. and it's mature, and it's stupid, and it'll get us thrown off a golf course one day.
If that was said out loud on a public forum, it's really sexist.
Yeah, hugely.
But like,
no.
You're like, oh, are you a man? Get cockroach, Jose, man.
Trust me, we all get our fucking comeuppance in this story. This is slow justice. So,
I've had my cock out once or twice on the golf course.
Aye. Nothing to do with the game. Just any hole's a goal. That's how the way he sees it. So we get to the course. Now, I'm going to sail Cullen down the river here. Right?
Oh no, our Cullen. Oh, pressure. He must be protected at all costs.
We drive in, and Duck and Hannah are on the chipping green, just practicing their chips. And it sounded like Cullen said, "Who's the skirt?" To which point I nearly slam on the brakes, and I'm like, hold on. Like, one of my friends who's, I wouldn't say Cullen's woke, but he's like the wokest of all of us. Like, he's very conscious about, he says horrible things, but this didn't sound like a joke. He was just like, "Who's the skirt?" And I went, "What the fuck did you just say?" And he went, "What?" And I went,
"It's Hannah, you've known her for weeks."
He's known her for ages. And he was like, "What do you think I said?" I went, "You said, 'Who's the skirt?'" He's like, "You're close." I said, "Who's in the skirt?" Like, as in...
the part of the green.
Yeah. No.
Is that a term?
No. Hannah was in a skirt.
Oh, right. I thought it was like...
the skirt around...
it could have been...
That would have
been a term.
That would have also been accepted. No. I think he just went, "Who's in the skirt?" I think I hadn't told him that Hannah was playing, because it's me that organises the fucking group, right? But I knew he didn't mean it, because the shock in his face when I told him what I thought he said. He was like, no. He lost more of his hair. It was very sad. So, we get there. My first time meeting Hannah, and I'm just like, how good are you? Like, I know you used to be, nearly pro.
Aye, but for a woman. Is that where you're going with it?
No.
I know you used to be nearly pro, but like, how good compared to a nearly pro man? Is that what you did?
No.
Sounds like that's what you did.
I asked the same question to Stu McPherson when I played with him and Sam Taunton, because, man, we're shite, and I just want to know how much I'm slowing down someone else's game, essentially.
Aye.
Like, it's, have I invited you to like 5-a-side and you're Ronaldinho and I'm making you play with my fucking pub team?
Aye.
Like, is this going to be less fun for you because you're so far ahead of us? And she was like, no. Like, I've not played it in like 6 years. I think I did a driving range about 2 months ago, and maybe a course. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. Just because I lose at golf all the time. I've got no problem with losing, but it's speed of play, and then also just diminishing someone else's enjoyment if they're that far better than you.
He didn't have it was just like asking Tim Renkow out for a run.
Aye. So, no, because that would mean Hannah was disabled in this analogy.
No, you would be.
Oh, I'm Tim Renkow.
Yeah.
Understood. Kai, you're not in the group, so you don't know this happened. I swear to fucking God, on hole 1, she steps up, she tees it up, and she gets a hole in 1. I have never...
I've heard about this.
Man.
Duck told us that Hannah got a hole in 1. I didn't put 2 and 2 together when you started telling that.
Man, I swear to fucking God, right? I think Duck stepped up first. He got it just over the green, hit it a bit too hard. I'm shite, so I hit it on the other green. Like
this was the talk of Loft Bar.
Aye.
People were chatting about this.
She steps up, right? And she's just, we were all watching it being like, right, okay, so that's how your posture's meant to be, right? She's not that far from the ball, and we're all just watching this. And she does it, and after she hits the ball, she's like, fuck, I duffed that. Right? Me and Duck are just watching this ball just go straight. I think it didn't get like the height she wanted, but fucking straight as an arrow. And then it bobbles before the green, and then it rolls onto the green, and then it disappears. And I'm like, there's no way I've just seen a live hole in 1, and especially on the first fucking tee. There's no way.
Yeah, because you could go your whole professional career and never see a hole in 1, right? They're like hen's teeth.
Not
it's
yet.
Like a fucking royal flush. Like I've seen a royal flush in a casual game of cards once, and it fucking blew everybody's mind because we probably won't ever see one again.
What are the odds? What are the fucking odds? Right. So it drops in, and Duck goes to me, "That's in." And I'm like, "Is it? There's no way that's in, right?" I start fucking sprint. I'm so excited. Right? I start sprinting down towards the green. I can hear Duck like 5 feet behind me running, and in my head I'm like, Hannah must be 5 feet behind Duck. It's hard to run in a skirt, I imagine, but. Right, so we fucking run up, we get to the hole, it's fucking in there, and I turn around, and Hannah's just back on the tee, and I'm like, it's it's in! And Duck's like, it's in! And she's like, just a thumbs up. And I'm like,
She's not losing her mind. She's not like that Livy sketch where she thinks she's in the Matrix.
So, I mean, and then me and Duck just have to do this really, like, weird, like, walkers. You don't pick up somebody's hole-in-one ball, you leave it in there for them to pick up.
So you kind of take off it? Is that the rule? Do you have to pick it up so she has to go and pick it up and then fucking come back?
No. It's just eventually, no. What we in a normal game, we would have just waited for Cullen to hit his shot and then all got into green. But because we're children who've never seen a live hole-in-one before, me and Duck just lost.
We started doing roly-polies and all that. Can I'm glitching, guys? You've done like 24 roly-polies, you're knackered, you've got a stitch, you're sweating. I can't stop doing forward rolls.
I just start.
Someone call help.
I start rolling around the hole. I want to go in, but I can't.
You're doing like, the happy baby yoga pose and you're just tumbling. I can't stop doing this. And now you've glitched the Matrix. Get your ball out of the hole so I can stop.
Me and Duck have to just walk back to Hannah, and I'm just there, and I'm just like, have you had a hole-in-one before? And she's like, yeah, 3 or 4. And I'm just like, so is that not? She's like, yeah, it's nice. And I'm like, it was.
Hold on. She's done she's racking them up.
She's done a bunch of hole-in-ones.
I'm using this podcast to call out Hannah Fairweather. Liar. You done one and you played it cool.
Man.
And went, oh yeah, just another one. Scratch it up.
Like,
all right, I'll give her it.
Duck,
I'll give her it.
I swear, I'm
skeptical.
I fucking promise you, me, Duck, and Cullen have told this story more times than Hannah.
And I guess when you're telling the story, she's done more and more holes in one every time you tell it.
Well, as I said before, she said 17 holes in one.
yeah, all 27 of them.
Yeah. Well, here's a question for you.
I love the idea of you just glitching like a FIFA player, like your legs are underneath the green. You're like, Hannah!
What have you done? You've broken my understanding of the game.
Like Duck's like 12 feet off the ground and he's just like, get us down.
So, I mean, obviously Hannah wins the entire round anyway. She goes off and
but man, she didn't need to do much after that. It probably took you 7 shots.
She griped about the shot. She was like, I duffed it. She was like, I caught it wrong. And we're like, it went in the hole. She's like, yeah, but it's not the swing I wanted. I'm like, what?
That's a strange one. She's like, I was actually aiming to like go on the left of the green, and I got there. She got the hole in one, but is she not allowing herself to celebrate the fucking class shot because like she felt she didn't mean it? She was laying herself up for a putt.
If so, Jesus Christ, that's leagues ahead of what I'll ever be. I know that's the best case scenario, but it's not what I wanted.
Also,
and as a player, I have to be honest with myself, and that was a failure. Yes, I'll pick up the ball.
Like, have you ever seen a player where he scores a fucking worldie from outside the box, and it like loops in with a curl from the outside of his boot, and you go, I think he must hit a cross there, and it just ended up being a worldie. Do you think he gives a fuck?
No.
Not
and I guarantee he would have celebrated more than Hannah Fairweather did. She just wiped her club a little bit and went, how long's the next hole? It's like, bitch, we got a putt. Like, I got a chip in from another green. So, you got me thinking, right? I need you to follow me on a little mental journey here. You go for a game of golf, right? You step up to the first tee, and somehow you just hit the cleanest shot of your life. Bob was just like Hannah's shot, front of the green, rolls on, drops in. You obviously lose your shit, yeah? Aye. You lose your fucking mind. You've got a hole in one. We probably don't calm down for about 10 minutes.
I'd do that Billy Whack all the way up to the green. Dick out.
I know I got past the ladies' tees, but this is for the men. You step up to the second one, unlike hole 1, which was par 3, second one's a par 4. Right, it's round some corners and trees, you can't even really see the green. You fucking slice the ball. It's not what you meant to do, you meant to sort of hit it straight, but you end up just fucking slicing it, disappears behind the trees, roughly to where the green is. You're like, oh, maybe that's nearby. You look in the bunkers, you look in the rough, it's not on the green. Where the fuck is it? I'm at the hole, and I'm like, is yours a tip least? And you're like, yes. I'm like, guys, it's fucking second hole in one. We lose our shit. You obviously lose your mind. 2 holes in one in a row.
This isn't what happened though, right?
No. This is you. This is you doing this. This is you getting.
All right, now it sounds more plausible.
You calm down, right? You're fucking shaking. You step up to the third tee. You flick it up, and it just drops straight into the hole. What hole do you kill yourself because you're clearly in a simulation and somebody's fucking with you? Like, how many holes in ones in a row do you have? Because 2, you'd be like, oh my God, unbelievable.
No, two, I quit golf. I'm not taking another swing. Like,
but then they don't count if you don't finish the hole.
That's fine. That's fine. My grandkids will believe us.
Like, I think for me, if I get the third hole in one, I've still got enough, like, narcissism and ego to be like, all right, 2 of those were luck, but 1 is me.
There's got to be one point where you get, that was a par 5.
Yeah.
They're going to need to make up a bird to tell me what score I got. I think I got a pterodactyl on that fourth hole.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna go. I reckon we'll go. Do you not remember? Do you not remember when Cara got a hole in one on Mario Golf and we all lost our shit for 45 minutes?
Game's broken.
Like, maybe that's why they don't let women in the golf house.
Because they're too good.
Well, man, I tell you what. Like, you know, after Hannah got that, well, there wasn't a clubhouse at Melville, unfortunately, so we couldn't get her to buy us all drinks to celebrate. So Hannah, if you listen to this, you do owe us all a pint.
You're a brilliant golfer, but you're a road dodger. And I know which rep is going to stick. Because they don't cancel each other out weirdly.
Aye. Because I am going to stop telling the hole in one story. So why did Hannah owe you a drink? Just because I'm dead sound, actually.
Yeah.
She's got a show on at the festival, which you can go and see and watch her. Because if I got a hole in one, that's my show. That's the full fucking hour. And then afterwards, I'm meeting and greeting fans, and I'm telling them the story. We're sitting down over a whiskey, and I'll be like, "It was a windy par 3, coming in east to west." Where you going? Come back.
Alright, so if you go to our show, she'll make a round of applause, but she won't get a round of drinks. She'll have a round of golf, but she'll not have a round of... No. There's only so much I can book that. So I've been doing a couple of late shows, which is why you had to get us out of bed this morning.
Yeah.
Late live last night. The night before, I hosted Spank. It was very funny, because, you know Aaron McCann?
Yes.
Right, he supported you on tour in Belfast.
Yes.
So if anyone saw him in Belfast a couple of years back. Aaron was in the crowd, front row. His mates are alright. He's a class comic, but he was just front row with his pals.
Aye, he's also a diehard comedy fan.
And it's such a good show to bring your mates to if it's their first time at the festival, right? And you know, at the beginning of Spank, right, it's a party, so we'll get them up on their feet the minute we get on stage. We'll have a shot. We'll play a jump around by fucking House of Pain, and then we'll start the show when everyone sits back down. But the fucking atmosphere's fizzing by the time we've done that. Aaron McCann's jumping around, right? And I just fucking gone up to him and I gone, Aaron, Michelle Shaughnessy hasn't shown up yet. I don't think she's got a confirmation. She's probably not going to be here. She's third on. Will you get up if she's not here? And he was like, aye, absolutely. I went,
mental.
I went, can I get you at the crowd as a punter? And he went, let's do it. Right? So Michelle hadn't turned up.
So like a fake, you think you can do this?
Yes, mate. And
Great.
because he was in the audience and the show was about to start and Michelle hadn't turned up, I couldn't really get to him until I was on stage.
Aye.
So I got him to agree to that while every cunt in the audience was jumping around, right? And then when everyone settled, the first couple acts on, and I come back on, I was like, oh, there's 2 acts left in this section, but there's only one of them here. So if there's anybody in the audience that would like to give it a go, we'll put it out to the audience, right? And we're just instead of going straight to Aaron.
Imagine 7 different hands went up and you were like, sorry, Aaron, I need to create a car crash.
Yeah,
it would be the best thing for the gig is you coming on ripping this gig because everyone love that. But the better story is some drunk cunt comes up and bombs.
I nearly let that happen, right? Because we're like, me and Evan were like weighing everyone up, and our co-host was Evan Demeray, and there was a group of lasses who would clearly not get up, right? They were just there for the night out, right? And I chatted to them. I was like, "Would any of you like to give it a go?" And they're like, "Oh fuck!" Like shitting themselves at the idea. And then there was this lad who had been keen at the beginning, you know, when you shout Spank, we love it.
Yeah.
Like he was out of cue and shouting it early and that, and we got him up on stage and he was making them do Spank and everything. So we'd done that earlier on, and then I pointed at him and he went to stand up and I went, too keen.
Aye.
too keen like that and like pied him, and then I like eventually fucking get round to Aaron and ask his name and go, oh, you're Irish, I saw you laughing at the Dead Queen bit earlier, and we'd absolutely fucking engineered it so it looked like we just happened upon
Aye.
Aaron. And I was like, would you like to give it a go? And he was like acting a bit bashful about it.
It's so good.
The cunt gets up, right?
If he bombs, like if the end of this story is he plays it perfectly, and then it just happens to be one of the few gigs where Aaron McCann just eats shit and dies. Please tell me that's it. Please tell me he bombed.
Sorry, mate.
Boo.
Sorry, mate. He just fucking went on, and because he's like kind of anecdotal and he's like saying funny stuff like that like happens in his life and all that shit, right? The first joke he did absolutely annihilated, right? And then he had this like body language of like somebody that's like, ooh, I could get into this. It absolutely fucking rattled the gig. And then at the end, like, because you know what? I think because he'd done so well, a lot of people just went, well, he's a comic.
Aye.
Right? But the production value
of that.
planting him in the audience, even if it was just by design from the beginning, that's what they're meant to do. Like, that's just Spank being Spank, doing something fucking unique. But some people just wanted to buy him drinks and suck his dick. Like, it was fucking outstanding.
I would love if there was like any other joke, like the worst, more evil but higher stakes version of that fucking prank, right? Is you're a surgeon, you're a world class surgeon, you're doing open heart surgery on this guy. They've got to be unconscious for it, obviously, so you put them a bit under. You put that thing up there so that they can't see anything that's going down, even though they're unconscious. And then and it's in the theatre, so you've got all the fucking medical students watching what's going on up there. Greatest version of that is what you do is you say to the anaesthesiologist, you'd be like, just wake him up just a bit, just for a couple of seconds, just so he's round. He can't move, but just enough that he's
slap him
conscious.
with a fish. That's how you wake people up, right?
Yeah, and especially in hospital.
I mean that's the reason the podcast started on time.
And then just as he's coming to, right, as the lead surgeon, you just go, you know what, fuck it. Do any of the students want to try? Put him back under. And then, oh no. Or just have like his wife up there and she'll be like, I'll do it. I love him. I should be the only woman inside of him.
The surgeon's passed out. Can we have a volunteer?
No.
The guy taking the bins takes off his gloves.
He's like, can't use this. It's been binges. Here we go. Surgery time.
Night. So also in that gig, right? In the second section, there was a guy fast asleep in the audience, and I just put the mic in the stand. And I just spoke to the audience off mic, just so like fucking it was quiet and zoned them in. Listen, I was like, "There's a dude asleep over here. Can everybody see him? If you can't see him, like stand up or turn your chair around or whatever. Just make sure that all eyes are on him, right?" And everybody just like the whole gig shifts from facing the stage to just facing this guy who's asleep, right? And I just sat on the fucking speaker and with the mic just started going, "Twinkle, twinkle, little," and fucking the whole crowd just joins in with this fucking eerie, low fucking lullaby. And the guy woke up, and it must have been the fucking biggest fear in your life, is to just wake up, just eyes everywhere, fucking hundreds of eyes. And the minute his eyes opened, I went, "Shock near the heart, and you're to blame." Fucking murdered him. He nearly died.
Did you go and just sing me all the words to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, please?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what you see is what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the sky,
the world so high.
The world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
If you want to subtly annoy people, it's been aware, because Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is my song that I just sing to Kaelin all the time and gets them to sleep. So I've sung that song 15,000 times in the past 6 months.
But do you ever break in with Shock to the Heart, like Bon Jovi?
No.
But you will now.
He just says he's off. Shut to the what kind of what?
That's what the sh was. The sh was. I was building up to it. Shock
to the heart. If you sing the words to something slightly incorrectly, there is a level of pedantry that exists in all people that just makes them go. But if you do it while you're trying to get a baby to sleep, they can't correct you. Who the fuck is that? Oh, fuck, it's the tree guy. Hold on, pause this.
I wasn't a tree surgeon at all.
Hey.
Hello,
How's it
Milo.
going?
Good. How are you?
I'm not bad.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you're having a great Fringe.
I'm having an alright Fringe.
Yeah. Busy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
How's your stress levels?
It's weird because like I don't have any of the normal stresses about selling out. I've been touring the show. It's been ready for a year. I didn't have a few adjustments at the beginning, so all the normal Edinburgh stresses aren't there. But that doesn't mean there aren't stresses, because what happens is you start getting mega stressed about tiny shit that doesn't matter for the Edinburgh equilibrium. It's got to be a fucking emotional roller coaster, even if everything is going your way.
Yeah.
It's just tiny little things that are just spinning me out and turning me into an absolute fucking idiot, basically.
I clocked you a few times because you've been getting approached by people that that break your conversation away.
Yeah.
And you're a bit impatient with them.
Was I?
Stuart Calvato.
Oh, yeah. I kind of recognised him, but kind of didn't.
Aye, but he come up drunk, didn't he?
He came up drunk, and I was sober, and he came up drunk and just straight in my eyes, going, "Oh, Milo, I still could eat everything," and I was just a bit like I haven't even got my head round it, like, and then you picked me up on it, which is I appreciated, and then I just sort of had to go, "Oh yeah," and I went out and gave him a hug.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it must. I understand. It must be such a fucking head fuck, because I mean, you've been put in the graft so fucking long, and I mean, all the success
And
you've
like you've been going the extra mile graft that like others haven't. Like you've been fucking in full character flying before your show and shit. You must be enjoying not having to.
It's
that like 2 hours or whatever.
Oh, it's a long, like, it's only a couple of years ago that I was in the Three Sisters courtyard, getting started on in character by drunk people from Glasgow. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, Stephen Bailey, right, as this guy, Stephen Bailey, you know, right. So this guy's come up. Stephen Bailey sensed trouble, and he's twisted his body sideways and sort of shifted towards us, right, and got all close. And eventually it diffused and went away. And I said, "Did you just get in a fucking karate stance?" I went, "Yeah, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo." So his first fucking instinct was to shape up.
like Ryu.
Yeah, he had this like beautiful pastel suit on, this perfect immaculate foundation, and then he's just squaring up like fucking.
Takes off his bedazzled leather belt, and like, and underneath is the most important one. Let's fucking go.
Is there a film where the guy is it old school where the guy's doing blowjob lessons and he's sucking off a carrot or something? To all the wives, it was like a hen party, and then the husband sees it through the window and thinks it's just hitting on his lass.
No.
And then the gay guy kicks shit out of him. Imagine making up a scene from a film that doesn't exist.
I'm sorry.
All right, I had a dream about a guy sucking off a carrot in front of my wife.
I'm lost.
Oh yeah. You the Ljubljana banana story guy. Yeah, the carrot one. Of course, you're like.
I got caught sucking off a banana by an Eastern European guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was just seeing what it was like.
Oh, can Emmanuel's going to kill me. I've got to say this. He's going to fucking kill me.
Yeah, it's on the public podcast.
Right. We were in the sauna. We just had a workout at the Pleasance gym. You know, you're in the sauna, you're relaxing, you just start.
You've got your jorts on.
Yeah, but proper. You got your jorts on, you know, for your post-workout jorts, your sauna jorts.
Yeah.
Right, and we're just talking about how we were both dogs in our 20s, and Emmanuel, right, he went, yeah, in my 20s I was ruled by penis, and I went, and he went, no, and I went, no, in your 20s you were ruled by penis. That's what you just said. Yeah, but I didn't mean.
You said that in the sauna.
He missed the word my. And it changed everything, and I promised him I wouldn't tell anyone, but then we went to the bar that night.
Great.
We went to the bar that night, and I think Taylor was there, and I went, "Can I tell Taylor?" And he went, "Oh, go on then." So I told Taylor, and then because I told Taylor, I fucking told everyone in the bar, and now he's like wearing it like a badge of honour. In my 20s I was ruled by penis.
He was?
Like ruled, dominated.
You've just told 100,000 people?
Sorry, Emmanuel.
Hold on, what numbers are we doing?
Emmanuel Sonubi, by the way, like, check him out. Incredible comic.
He's very, very
lovely
good.
man.
Very
God.
funny, lovely man.
Emmanuel's been on this podcast. Well, listeners have.
We go to the gym every morning, and he's like getting his coke fix. He's just twitching. Do you know what I mean? I was 2 minutes late coming out of my flat, and it was like 500 feet away. And when I came out 2-3 minutes later, he was still 500 feet away. And I was like, how the fuck you manage that? You're just constantly walking. And he's so hyped up. He did a loop so he wouldn't have to stand still. Like, he's honestly, I call him Pablo Escobar belt, because he gets in. He's twitching. He's just fucking. But he's got me into weights now, because the first couple of days, because I always normally do cardio or boxing, so first couple of days, like, oh, this is shit. I don't like this. But day 4 or 5, there's something weirdly rushy. I mean, you do a lot of weights, do you?
Yeah.
Something weirdly rushy about it, and I'm sort of into it now.
I do a lot of weights, but I look at Emmanuel and going, I don't know how much weights you've got to do to get like that.
The amount, dude.
Does
It's disgusting.
When he's doing press ups, it's not his body weight that he's lifting up; he's pushing the world down.
Oh my god! But seriously, the amount of the amount he like presses and stuff.
What's he like for? Because one thing I'm decent at the gym is like my body to weight ratio is good. Like when I bench presses, I get I get the dumbbells are about equivalent to my body weight, and me deadlifts are about like time and a half on my body weight. But like, is Emmanuel good like that? Can he?
No, shit. He can't do like chin ups.
Can he do chin ups and that? So I'm looking at him going, I'll never be that strong. But pound for pound, I'd murder you.
Yeah, he actually, and like, he's good enough to say that as well when we're working out. He is good enough, because he's so enormous and intimidating. He's good enough to sort of go, well, you weigh this much, and so. According to your weight, you're doing better than I am, or where Joe says, just such a lovely dude.
He's such a big dude. Like sometimes I'm talking to him, I'm not even listening. I'm just looking at his arms.
I know,
just in awe.
Insane.
Like, how do you get that?
It's insane. He just charms everyone as well through the gym. Everyone knows him now.
If I was gay, he'd be. I'd love to be in a relationship.
You'd be one of the penises that ruled him.
I would. But if I was with him, I would love to, just have. You'd be in a relationship where he spoons me and he looks after me and he's a good cook as well and he's really into his cooking. I reckon he'd treat me life right, but I'd have to let him cheat.
Oh yeah,
I'd have to choice.
Go out and do you, Emmanuel. Like, I'm not going to try and keep up with you, Manny.
So you've added extra shows which are already sold out, and now you've added in the McEwen Hall. Is that the biggest room you've done solo?
Solo, yeah. More than double.
Amazing. And it's half sold already?
It's half sold already.
Fucking boy.
Which is nice and a bit of a head spin. But yeah, the biggest previous one I did was Leeds Carriage Works, which I think is like 300 odd. So it's like triple.
You know how we were talking almost a week into the Fringe, and you said like you hadn't been doing the Greeters Guild at the front of your audience.
Fucking idiot.
And then just like the penny dropped, and you were like, oh fuck, I feel like I'm shortchanging them. They come for that, and they haven't been getting that.
Yeah.
So it's so obvious when you've realised.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
Are you going to be able to do that en masse at the McEwen Hall?
Well, this is what I got to work out, because I'll probably have to just verbally fly the queue or something like that. I'll have to just probably just do a walk. I haven't scoped it out yet. I haven't like looked at the venue. If there's one door.
Have you ever seen a show there?
Yeah, I have. I think I saw a kids show there years ago. I haven't seen like a
I saw Jim Jeffries there.
Yeah. How was it? How is it? Have you played it?
I think I've only ever done it. I think it was like a live Radio 5 thing that I was on with Chris Harrison. And
oh really?
No, you were spitting on me there. That was completely unrelated, Milo.
I don't mind bringing this up because I've had heaps of years to think about it, and I'm like, no, it was definitely a cunt. I was about 18 or 17 years old, and it was like Radio 5 Live, and it was like one of the biggest gigs I'd ever done before in an audience, and obviously nobody knew who I was. I was just very excited to be on the panel, and Chris Harrison, who's very successful, he was on like Mock the Week, he fucking wrote whatever that The Thick of It show. He's a phenomenal actor. He's really, really funny. And then like it finally gets to like my part of the interview, and like the host goes to me, it's like, so you've got to be like one of the youngest comics to have ever done it, which is a question I was always asked when I was 17. I was like, I started when I was 16, but I know people that have started about the same age and just spoke about it. And Chris Harrison fucking overrides a 17-year-old. He just said, no, actually. And they just listed off like a bunch of comedians.
Like Ross Noble.
Like Ross Noble, fucking Adam Sandler, and all these people, Seth Rogen, who I know started younger than me.
Yeah.
But he acted as if I was the one that was like, I'm the youngest comic ever. And he was like, no, you're not. I'm like, motherfucker, he asked the question. Yell at him. Don't interrupt a fucking 17-year-old to have some weird sort of power trip of... Anyway, it didn't affect me.
Did you get the sense that it was some sort of umbrage that was coming out passively aggressively at you personally, or do you think he was just a little bit fucking just trying to dominate the situation?
I'm genuinely not sure, and also my perspective as a 17 was probably wrong, but I do just remember, just in my head at the time, going, you're a fucking wanker.
You've got such a long memory for revenge stuff, though. Like, you're just such a revenge
And
fetishist.
I will happily...
Yeah, I've never seen anyone get so much out of revenge. In
Absolutely,
my
and
whole
long.
life.
And I would happily fuck someone over 15 years later after they fucked me over. And the best type of fucking revenge is where you can just privately behind the scenes ruin their fucking life and have them never know it was you. Like I have lists of people I'm gonna fucking do it to.
There is a concept called forgiveness. I don't know if you're not something
what's in it for
ever clean a soul, inner peace, like
harmony.
Yeah.
No, this is like all the people that go, hate, your head's filled with hate. Don't let hate rule your mind. My mind's fucking infinite. Even even if I hate so much, there's heaps of space in there for other things. I'm not walking around every day being like rage straight. I'll just be making a cup of tea and I'll be stirring my cup of tea, and then occasionally I'll just be like, I hope that person dies, and I'll will it into the world like a vision board.
Manifest.
Yeah,
you've got to manifest your hatred.
Yeah,
it's healthy.
It's good. Just gets it out and you go, I really hope something.
He's got a
bad.
vision board etched in blood.
Karma's behind you going, mate, I've been doing this for ages. Just let me get on with it, for fuck's sake.
Karma's getting snooty. I've been doing it since I was younger.
So the McEwen Hall, I saw Foil Arms and Hogg in there last week. I've seen them play there every year. It's a really, really good room. I think you'll enjoy it. And me and Cara, I was so excited because I was like, that's the show we'll go and see. Like, I can't wait to see Milo do his fucking biggest gig and just like get fucking buzzed off my mate doing well.
Yeah, even though in my first year you did tell me at the end of the Fringe run that it wasn't your cup of tea.
I'll
never forget.
Yeah.
But I two can play at the revenge game. I fucking never forget.
Yeah, is this your revenge? It's like, I'm playing the McEwen Hall now, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Success is the best revenge.
The whole thing's going to be a slideshow of embarrassing pictures of him. Just like,
well, no. I mean, I've even admitted that it's because Phil Bartle, you're such a good, not only writer, you've got a phenomenal work ethic and you're such a brilliant performer. Phil Bartle was just so good, and I remember how impossible Phil Bartle was to follow. And then you did something that I think at the time I would never have the strength to do, which is to go, even though I know I can get more out of this,
completely reinvent yourself.
Yeah, and just go, I'm bored of this and this isn't a challenge anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something new and entirely different. And Troy was so very different to Phil Bartle. And at the time when I was young, I just couldn't, it was like giving up like a really, really nice car to cycle to work. And I'm like, what are you owned a Tesla. That was dead cool. I mean, and now 100% fucking wrong.
I love the way he used his own car.
Well, do you know what?
Lamborghini.
Do you know why?
Excellent cars.
Because my brain went, for some reason, the only car that was in my head was Subaru, and I'm like, you're not 14. I'm like, don't show your age.
Also, Milo, just to put it into perspective, you know when he says it wasn't my cup of tea?
Yeah.
His cup of tea is milk in first with the tea back.
I don't
take that ever so personally.
I don't drink tea.
No.
I just
I
make
bet
tea.
you don't.
Nah. I make tea wrongly for other people. But well, we spoke about this the other day, and I said to Cara afterwards, because I felt so guilty, because I definitely did say to you.
No, but it's not. It's good. You should be honest like that. Like, as mates, you should. Like, one of the reasons I changed from Philberto is because Nick Doody, we just did this gig and I smashed it, and we'd gone for a drink afterwards. He's like, "Why are you doing this sort of Portuguese character?" I was like, "Yeah, but it works." And he goes, "Yeah, but would you find it funny? Do you think it's artistic?" And like, he took a risk, could have possibly offended me, and I think he told me that because he decided he liked me.
Yeah.
So he was going to give me this bit of information, and I found that then I was a bit like, "Oh, fucking," just went and I took it away and I digested it, and it's like, would I laugh at that? Is that the kind of thing that gets me? No, it isn't. It's like some of it maybe maybe, but predominantly it's created to generate a reaction, because that was what I wanted. It wasn't expressive. It was to work in a club room, which it did. And then I couldn't,
the Junglers era, like it was class
essential
for that, and it got you through. It got you through a time where the comedy circuit was ruled by stag and hen parties.
Yeah.
But now we're playing theatres.
It was a friend making a hard comment to hear, like a good, excellent piece of constructive criticism. That if a friend gives you a thing like that and it hurts you a little bit, that's because it's true. So fucking digest it. Take it away. And that was one of the things that sort of really got me going. Right, time to.
Yeah. But the mistake I made, and it wasn't until you and I had the conversation last week, and I told Cara about it, because I'm really, really good at expressing negative emotions, right? And they just fucking flow out of me. Like in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I definitely said to Milo, it's not my cup of tea, because I was honest at the time. Like I saw the show, I just didn't see where it was going because I was too narrow-minded. And then I think it was 2 years later, you did the Tales of the Unexpected show, which I absolutely fucking loved. But being me, just didn't tell you that.
No, you didn't tell me. So I had that the whole time.
And I watched that one with you.
But I fucking loved it.
You done like a preview the day before we started.
Yeah.
Didn't you? And Paul Byrne was there.
Yeah.
Did he direct that show with you?
Yeah,
sweet.
did,
So yes, I remember being in there with you and you fucking loved it. Did you not tell him?
No.
Didn't tell me. I know, right?
What a dick.
Right. I'm still carrying around the lack of tea. No fucking tea. No, Danny's tea, not there.
So it's just the other day you were like, because I said to you, I love the Tales of Unexpected. You were like, you've never said that before. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that does sound exactly like me. I'll only tell you the negative. And then privately in my head, I'll be like, I love you, God. I hope you know.
How are you with positive praise though? Because if it tends to be that what you give, whatever, is also an indicator of how you receive. So when people give you compliments, people give you good.
If it's from fans, I can take it because, this is going to sound shitty because it's shitty. I don't respect my fans as much as I respect comedians, and I think that's true across comedians.
Yeah.
Comedians laughing at the back of the room and it shouldn't be as more important than the laughter of the audience. So when my audience is like, we love the show, I take that feedback, and even if it's negative, to try and work out what I can change to, if I want to change it, if the reason people are upset is valid, maybe I'll mix it around. But no, I mean, from friends and stuff, I'm not good with positivity.
That's
I'm good at, I love when friends come to the show and then like their whole thing is, here's a line that would work for you, here's a line that would work for you, all the constructive criticism. But if it's just them being like, oh, it's brilliant, I'm like, I've also just said to friends it's brilliant. But I don't know, it feels like there's more engagement and there's more respect if what they're doing is criticising it, because it's going, hey, this is brilliant.
You've been honest.
But we can make it better.
I think there's no better sound in the world than one of your comedian friends coming backstage after a show and going, I've got a couple of notes for you.
I love
You're
that.
Like, yes!
I love that, but some people don't. Some people don't.
That's bollocks.
The hardest thing is if there's a comedian that you don't know well enough, but you know you've got a piece, you've seen something that you know will help them, but you're not quite sure how they'll process it. So it's sort of like, do I go up and go, look, I've got something if you want it, right? But it's a bit weird that, because then 10 times out of 10, everyone, whether they want to hear it or not, will go, yes. Even if they don't.
I'll put footprints on it. I'll always go in with like, oh, this might be useless to you. It might just be like, I just wrote it down at the time because it seemed like it might be a good idea. You'll know better than me, and I have material better than I do. But if you did this and this, and then sometimes they'll go, meh, and sometimes they'll go, oh fuck yeah, that really links with that. And for the times you get it, it's worth it. For the times you don't.
Oh, I love getting notes from anyone.
Tom Horton came to my show.
Who?
Sorry, can you do your Tom Horton impression?
I can't. Danny, are you? Right. No, Julia.
I walked in the abattoir the night
I do it too much though. Literally, I do it to Tom, and Julia's like, "That's amazing." But then I'll turn around and I'll do it to some people Tom's just met, and Leslie caught me on this, and she goes, "Look, you got to stop that." She goes, "You turn around to some other YouTube guy or TikTok guy. I didn't even know who the fuck he was, but apparently he's a big guy." And they were talking, and Tom had just met the guy, and I'm going, "Tom wants a gin and tonic. Does he have to go to the bar by himself? What the fuck?" Right? And Leslie said, Leslie said Tom's face just fucking fell. And I'm like, yeah, just because I can doesn't mean I should all the fucking time. And the amount of times I've apologised to him, it's like...
But in his voice.
I'm really sorry. You know, and the forearm grab to make the point. You know, Tom.
That's to stop you talking, isn't it? I'm about to say something.
That's what it is.
Yeah, lads, that camera's blinking. I didn't have to turn on that.
No, but I love Tom to bits, and I've got to stop it. I just can't. I have to.
He came to my show on Sunday and gave me a note, because Tom's really, really good at looking at the show as a whole and then sort of going, right, you don't realise that there's this there and these things actually link, and he's really able to like watch your show, take a step back and tell you how it should be formed a bit. And I shouldn't be gutted by this, but like, he gave me a call back, and it was, you know, when a joke's so fucking obvious, but when you're in the joke and when you're in the show, you're only thinking about 5 minutes in front of you and 2 minutes behind you. He gave me a call back which fucking murders yesterday.
Yes.
Like, one of the ones I did it once and it just fucking blew up, and I'm like, God damn it. I wonder how long it's going to be before my ego and narcissism deletes Tom telling me that call back and just me being like, I'm a genius.
Oh, he won't let you forget, don't worry. Did you tell him? You told him?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you absolutely...
It's a positive thing, I can't do it!
Text him now. He'll love that.
Yeah, you're going to tell that.
Fuck's sake, Tom gave me an excellent note, right, which I initially resisted, because the show had been like the best. He came to one of the best ones of the run so far, and he gave me this note, and I went, and then he went, no, Milo, and I went, and I thought about it, and I was like, fuck, he's right. And I turned to him and said, do you know what, Tom? You're right. Like, yeah, I resisted then, and thank you for telling me a second time. You're absolutely right. I do need to change that and do it a bit more like this. Thank you. Because he was drunk, he then told me another 28 times, direct in my face, over the next couple of hours.
Oh, bless.
So it did get nailed in, but he's right. He's good at that shit. He's
he gave me one of the best lines of my 2018 show.
Yeah.
It was massive lines, and it fucking really made the bit pop as well. And then someone told us he's been dated.
Shut up.
God,
He's such a funny man. Like, he fucking kills us. I whacked it.
Here, mate, just to let you know, I know you needed a car, and I happen to have one going because I'm living in London. I don't need it anymore. So here's car, here's the keys. No, of course it's free.
Yeah, of course I've got a spare key.
Can you drive me to my gig tomorrow?
You're my chauffeur now. I went in Avatar, right, and he's just sat at the bar stool on the fucking bar, right, with his fucking sirloin steak, and he had like a napkin tucked into his finger, right, and he's just like,
fuck off! Did he have the actual fucking?
He had
No,
the
he
thing
did.
tucked in,
Yeah.
So he was tucked in, he was elbows up, and he was just like, no, chatting away and all that, doing an impression.
That is the posh version of holding your nose going down the slide.
I deserve this.
This was late. This is not how I ordered it. I kind of do his voice.
They know.
Man. Sat next to him was his girlfriend Julia, eating mac and cheese out of a cardboard cup.
Just out of the orbit of the elbows. She was having a bob and weave with her wooden fork, fucking cold macaroni.
She's like, you know, Tom, in America, macaroni, cheese, and steak goes quite well together. Good point. Nom, nom, nom.
He spent so much of this podcast over the years under the bus. The listeners must be like, why are you friends with this man?
Should we talk about Elliot Steele's ball?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. He dealt with that really well. I'd
He
have been
did.
traumatised.
Well, because I think he said to me, so he put in the group the other day, for those who haven't been paying big attention
We've all
to
also
Elliot.
been DMing him, right?
Yes.
Guys.
Yes, the standard shit. So Elliot was sparring with someone and they just need him in the groin.
It was
and
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You should wear a cup, but like it's not a cup.
that's-
It's not an impact sport, so like you're not expecting a strike. Like I would never do Muay Thai with my cup. I'm just gonna get fucking hurt.
Preface of this story, he will have been told to bring a cup.
Yeah.
People at jiu-jitsu predominantly wear cups.
Yeah, because even if you're not kneeing someone, you're still moving your knees and legs and
Yeah,
things.
100%.
Contact can be made. So really bad. I mean, he went home, was in a lot of pain about it, and then went into the doctors, and they were like, "It's fine." And then he went in on Monday, and then just put in the group. He's like, "Lads, they're going to do surgery on me, like, and I'm really scared." So obviously, we all fucking annihilated him for about 9. I mean, it was one of the funniest days we've had in
He's
the
got a
fucking
competition coming up. We're like, is this your weight cut?
But the standard thing, which you touched on, which is the way I think friendship groups that are, you know, abusive to each other in that way have to be, which is in the main group, it's a roast, it's an evisceration, and then very privately, without acknowledging it with each other, you all slide into his DMs and you're like, hey mate, here for you, are you all right? And even after he came out of the surgery, and I think
classic abuse.
Yeah. Abuse them privately and then publicly be like, no, hey, we're friends, it's okay. Well, then he came out of the surgery and is thankfully still alive, still has.
He's got
2/3 of his ball.
1 and 2/3 of his balls left.
Yeah.
He had a portion of it removed. He got kept in overnight. One of the bits was where he was like, I'm due up next. I'm in theatre next. If nobody gets stabbed in South London, it looks like you're getting operated on by Christmas. Then that's funny. When he texted this guy, I've lost £500 worth of work, and I was like, what? You're off till December?
He's coming on so much as a comic though. His ideas, his writing, everything. It's all, you can just see it all start to really crystallise. And
well, yeah, he's finally finding his own voice as opposed to doing what so many of us do at the start of our career, which is just do an impression of a comedian and your favourite comedians. Like, I mean, if you watch any of my earlier shit, it's just Ed Byrne. It's just Ed Byrne with a Scottish accent. Yeah.
But his actual ideas and stuff, they're like unique. They're, I don't know, just the way he thinks.
Yes, he's got a good juxtaposition of how like intelligent he sounds on stage and how stupid he sounds
actually
off.
sounds.
Yeah. Like I do always love the podcast listeners' reactions to whenever they go and see Elliot live, and like, you could have given me a million chances to draw what I thought Elliot Steel looks like, and then he walks on stage and you're like, wrong.
Just all black women. So I think he seems to be all right about like.
Yeah, he dealt with it brilliantly.
Yeah, and man, I've never. Have you ever had a major surgery?
Just my eyeball.
Aye.
Yeah, just a squint surgery. Apart from that, now you.
I had a brain tumour.
Oh shit!
But I had like the nicest, most benign type of, not brain tumour, brain hemorrhage.
Oh, I made this.
Yeah, 2016. I had a non-aneurystic subarachnoid hemorrhage, right? Which is where basically
subarachnoid is
subarachnoid. So an arachnoid, if you picture like a spider's legs, and I think that's all the veins going out.
Okay, right.
So that's when it's like a proper bad hemorrhage because it's spreading like a spider's leg. I think subarachnoid is when it doesn't do that, right? So it's when it's only a tiny bit. So basically, I was boxing, I was skipping, and then suddenly it was like it was a brick in my head, and I stopped and I couldn't look at anything. The guy goes, oh, you're having a migraine. Have you ever had them before? I'm like, no. So went to the hospital, load of strong painkillers. They're like, just go rest up. Came back, and again, it was just the worst pain. A&E the next day, and basically they're like, we've got to do a spinal tap. I'm like, the fuck? Because we need to see if you've got a brain hemorrhage. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I got in. Have you had a spinal tap?
Nah, but I've heard that brutal.
So basically, she said, look, this is either going to be...
So it's when they're taking the spinal fluid, so they're going through the bone.
Yeah, so they basically get this needle and they put it into your spine, and she goes, "Here's how it works."
You can't call that a tap. What a horrible way!
A spinal stab, though, can they?
That's
what it is, but
I'd be more. Okay, you're just gonna feel a little tap there. There's a blade in between.
You're tapping a keg, aren't you?
So basically, she goes, it's either gonna feel incredibly odd, right? Or it's going to hit a nerve and it's going to be a jolt of electricity that goes through your whole body. And I'm like, fuck. All right.
Hi, can I have neither?
Oh, yeah. So they put it in and it felt incredibly odd. It's like this enormous fucking cylinder just going straight into you. That's how it feels. It feels like a massive cylinder going into your body, right? And then it came out. I was like, oh, that was all right. I mean, it was a bit weird, but I think I got away with it. And she goes, oh, no, we didn't get the fluid. We got to go again. And I'm like, cunt. And then the second, obviously, she did that, I hit this nerve and I screamed, you fucking fuck, someone in the next thing went, mind your language. And I said, fuck you. I screamed, fuck you at this person. And the nurse was laughing so much she had to like stop for a second and come back. And so they do this, and they came back, and I was like, right, Mark Hunt is fighting tonight. We're going to get a takeaway. That's all good. So we're in the hospital all day. It was a Saturday, and she came back and she goes, oh no, you got brain fluid in you got blood like from your brain in your spine. You've had a brain hemorrhage. You got to go. And I'm like, fuck, I've had a brain hemorrhage. Yeah. So you got to go immediately to this hospital. So they've got me in. I go, right, chance I got a brain hemorrhage. We'll have to cut your skull open. We'll have to, and I'm sitting there going, you're fucking kidding me.
I like
What?
my skull in one piece.
Yeah, exactly. And then basically I went into this weird state of total calm, because it's like this situation where I had no control, there's nothing I could do, and so I didn't worry, because there's nothing, my actions, nothing, any choices I could make were fucking totally superfluous. And it put me in a really lovely Zen-like sense of calm. I just went, this is what's going on. I'm really glad I reacted like that. But then they came back a day later basically and just sort of went, yeah, you've had like the nicest possible fucking outcome for this. Instead of a vein bursting and then my brain getting starved of oxygen and then it being a bit like a stroke or whatever, essentially I had like a capillary go, right? So it's just a tiny little bit of blood, but obviously it feels like a brick. So what happens then, yeah? It travels down your body until you shit it out. But the weird thing is I felt it.
You shattered.
You shot out your
out
brain?
my brains. I shut my brains
I
out.
do that all the time, mate.
But I literally felt it like a lump travelling down until finally it
Down
went.
your spine.
But what if that was like positive memories? What if those? What if those?
Summer's day.
Tipping number.
The first time you held your daughter riding a bike.
Benidorm 1.
Good one.
First time I did a pill.
So, did they have to cut like into your head?
They didn't have. So what they did, basically, so they gave me a thing where they had to inject some, I don't know what it was, something into my groin, and I thought they meant my dick, right? They said we're gonna put a thing in your groin, and I was like, why do you have to put it in my dick to get to my brain?
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, no,
Because-
it's not you, it's your groin muscle.
Oh.
So what they do, they send this thing up.
Because
which
you're ruled by
sends-
penis.
I'm ruled by penis.
Yeah.
It sends this thing up where it activates different areas of your brain to register activity, and it's so weird because it gives you these impulses. And she goes, "Oh, in a second, your right side's going to go flush, and you'll see electric things." And then they just this thing, and I'm like, "Wham!" I'm like, "Fuck, this is incredible." And I actually really enjoyed it. And she came out, and I said, "That was great." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like she goes, "Your whole left side's going to go numb, and then there's going to be rainbows." just because they're triggering. It's so weird. I know, right?
They just like, have you ever had any gay thoughts? No. How about now? Fucking hell! Sorry, but that doctor, I had noticed before. His eyes are unbelievable. And what about now? You're like, put it back. Put it back. That was the happiest I've ever been.
You imagine as science develops and they start to get more and more awareness of what you can do to the brain, it's actually quite like unnerving.
Oh, terrifying!
Isn't it?
Like,
Would you take augmentations if they could give you them?
Oh fuck yeah! All about the evolution. 100%. Yeah.
if you get to like a wee chip that they can just put in there, and you can finally be a good dancer.
Oh, man, if I could have the rhythm chip, like, I'd take the rhythm chip.
I remember Tom really earnestly saying, "No, Kai is a horrible dancer."
I stopped dancing.
When was that? When was
It was
that?
in Brighton.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
It was in Brighton while dancing away, and you're like, "Why are you so ugly when you dance?" And I just like slumped my shoulders, my tail between my legs. I was like, "You put us right off my boogie."
Oh God, funny.
I'd take a better graphics card as well. I've got any graphics card.
Yeah, you've got no visual memory or whatever, isn't it? Yeah.
I can't memory wank. I think I can. Let's try still. I remember.
You just have to do it in text.
I remember that last. All zeros and ones. Out of 10.
It's the girl from the mail. Oh, right. So when is your extra show at the McCune Hall?
Extra show is 27th of August, Saturday 27th of August, 5:30.
5:30. So I cannot come and see it, you bastards.
Yeah, I'm gonna come and watch you start like a proud proud mother at the starting line of the fun run. That's my girl.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So please do go see the show.
Please
and,
do. When's this going out?
This is going out Monday.
Monday.
sweet.
Aye, so should
And it's a public episode as well, so reach that bit further.
Nice.
And we have to go now because a man's cutting down 2 trees in my garden, and that'll be fucking loud.
Which is why we merged with 2 podcasts that we were going to record today in one podcast.
Yes.
But that happened. It's out now.
Who was part one? Who was the
No,
appetizer?
part one was going to be us.
All right.
And then part two for the patrons was going to be...
Got
Yeah,
it.
but I think this actually works out better because this is the public episode and they can also come and see you. And
But yeah, there's a tree surgeon just said, come and just went, right, we're going to just absolutely ruin any idea of doing a podcast.
Aye.
at 11
Fine.
o'clock.
Is that how we put it?
Anything that you want to do that recorded audio quality has been absolutely kiboshed.
so thanks for tuning in. Go see Milo. Thanks for coming to our shows. Love you lots. Bye.